My daily day's struggle. Her daily day's struggle with English felt immense. Words often felt like tangled knots in her brain, a constant, frustrating battle. Each morning brought the same linguistic wall, making communication a heavy burden she carried, impacting her every interaction. The language seemed to mock her efforts persistently. Her mind raced relentlessly, frantically translating every single thought before daring to speak a single word aloud. This internal monologue was not only exhausting but also a crushing, heavy burden. It genuinely felt like she was trying to learn and manage two entirely different languages at precisely the same time, every moment. The simple, seemingly effortless act of conversation with others in English appeared utterly insurmountable for Clara. A profound fear of judgment constantly paralyzed her tongue, holding her back. Public speaking in English remained a distant, terrifying, and completely unattainable dream, looming ominously in her mind, causing immense anxiety. Listening to spoken English was equally challenging and perplexing for her, often feeling like a blurry, fast-paced stream of indistinguishable sounds. Native speakers conversed rapidly, their words blurring into a rushing river of unintelligible noise. Understanding anything meaningful felt precisely like trying to grasp at fleeting, formless mist, utterly impossible. She had diligently tried numerous traditional learning methods, including countless textbooks filled to the brim with tedious grammar rules and dry exercises. While these resources offered some structural insights, they provided absolutely no genuine pathway to fluency. The inherent joy of truly mastering a new language remained profoundly elusive and frustratingly out of reach. Many of Clara's evenings ended in quiet, profound despair, as she constantly questioned her own inherent linguistic capabilities and potential. The powerful thought of simply giving up entirely often loomed incredibly large, a seductive and tempting whisper in her ear. She frequently wondered if all this immense effort was truly, genuinely worth it. Her friends, effortlessly conversing in English, their words flowing with apparent ease and natural rhythm, presented a stark contrast. Clara observed their seemingly simple interactions with a complex mix of deep admiration and intense, undeniable envy. Their inherent ease profoundly highlighted the depth of her own personal, agonizing struggle every single day. The sheer, daunting volume of new, unfamiliar English vocabulary felt utterly overwhelming and incredibly disheartening to her. Flashcards, once hopeful tools, piled up forgotten in corners, gathering dust, testaments to her frustration. Every single word she attempted to learn seemed to inexplicably slip through her desperate fingers, proving impossible to genuinely retain. She frequently imagined perfect, fluent conversations, with beautiful, articulate sentences effortlessly forming in her mind, flowing gracefully. But then the crucial moment came, the opportunity to speak arose, and profound silence invariably prevailed, a heavy, stifling presence. The vast gap between her internal thought and her actual spoken word remained immense and terrifying. This relentless, daily linguistic battle left her feeling utterly drained and emotionally exhausted, both mentally and physically. It significantly impacted her overall self-confidence, even extending beyond her English studies into other areas of her life. A heavy, dark cloud of self-doubt seemed to perpetually follow her everywhere she went, a constant shadow. One particularly frustrating afternoon, a random podcast started playing in the background, a casual conversation not meant as a lesson. Yet, something unexpected clicked within Clara's mind. The sound felt profoundly different, less like a foreign language and more like an unfolding, understandable melody, catching her full attention. She suddenly realized she wasn't desperately trying to translate every single word anymore, a massive relief. Instead, she was simply absorbing the natural rhythm, the subtle intonation, the overall meaning. This was a completely new way to listen English, passively yet powerfully, without the constant mental strain. The speaker's natural, unforced flow of conversation deeply intrigued her. She began to notice how people speak English in real life, using authentic filler words, casual contractions, and natural pauses. It was a refreshing departure from the rigid, artificial textbook versions she had previously encountered. This profound and sudden discovery sparked a tiny, yet persistent, flicker of genuine hope within her. Maybe the core problem wasn't her own inherent ability or lack thereof, but rather her entire approach to language learning. The old, conventional ways were clearly not serving her true linguistic needs effectively. Determined, she decided to fully immerse herself in authentic, real-world English content. This meant watching countless movies, engaging TV shows, and listening to various music genres, all exclusively in English. No more crutching subtitles, just raw, unfiltered exposure to the living, breathing language, a true immersion. The initial days of this immersion were still undoubtedly tough, filled with countless incomprehensible moments and frustrating blanks. But Clara persistently pushed through, gradually letting go of the exhausting, rigid need to understand every single word spoken. She trusted the process, focusing on the broader context instead. Her brain, surprisingly, began to recognize recurring patterns, common phrases, and idiomatic expressions naturally. It felt precisely like a gigantic, intricate puzzle slowly but surely coming together, piece by meaningful piece. The dense linguistic fog that once enveloped her mind started to lift, revealing clarity gradually. She then started mimicking phrases she heard, silently repeating them to herself, practicing pronunciation and intonation. This simple yet powerful act of repetition felt incredibly effective, a crucial way to directly connect her active listening ear to her developing speaking mouth, building muscle memory. The entire idea of how to think and speak in English profoundly shifted for Clara. Instead of mentally translating from her native tongue, she consciously tried to associate English words directly with concepts and ideas. There was no longer a need for a tedious middleman language, liberating her mind. This radical mental shift was truly revolutionary for her language journey. It felt clunky and awkward at first, requiring immense conscious effort. But with consistent practice and determination, it became smoother, more automatic. Her internal monologue slowly but surely started to sound distinctly, beautifully English. The single biggest hurdle, however, still remained daunting: how to talk in English, confidently and fluently. The deeply ingrained fear of making embarrassing mistakes was still incredibly strong, a constant, nagging whisper in her ear, threatening to silence her every attempt at speaking. She profoundly understood she needed to take the crucial first step for talking, no matter how small or imperfect that initial step might be. Perfection, she tirelessly reminded herself daily, was indeed the ultimate enemy of achieving genuine progress and practical, meaningful fluency. Her pivotal breakthrough moment came during an unexpected online language exchange session. A remarkably friendly and incredibly patient partner, who was also incredibly encouraging, made all the significant difference in her language learning journey, providing vital support and understanding. Her first few sentences uttered in English were incredibly hesitant, stumbling awkwardly, filled with noticeable pauses. Words often tangled together, and grammar mistakes were undoubtedly abundant. But with unwavering resolve, she bravely kept going, pushing herself through the discomfort and uncertainty, refusing to quit. She consciously chose to focus on effectively conveying her intended meaning, rather than striving for unattainable linguistic perfection. This liberating mindset change freed her from immense pressure. The crippling burden to be absolutely flawless slowly began to dissipate with each brave, imperfect attempt she made, making progress easier. Her kind language exchange partner remarkably did not correct every single error she made, which was an immense relief. Instead, they focused primarily on fostering genuine mutual understanding and fluid communication. This compassionate approach significantly helped to build Clara's fragile confidence over time, encouraging more speaking. Clara then started a highly beneficial daily habit, diligently recording herself speaking English for precisely 5 minutes. Listening back to her own voice was initially quite cringeworthy and embarrassing, but it consistently provided invaluable and honest feedback for continuous self-improvement and refinement of her spoken skills. This ongoing process of self-correction and attentive reflection became an absolutely vital part of her entire learning process. She meticulously identified specific areas for significant improvement, such as subtle pronunciation nuances or complex sentence structure, allowing for targeted and effective practice sessions. She bravely joined a local English conversation group, pushing herself far beyond her established comfort zone. The in-person interaction, initially quite intimidating and nerve-wracking, quickly proved to be immensely rewarding and beneficial, opening new avenues for practice and social connection. The group itself was wonderfully diverse, comprising learners from all conceivable levels of English proficiency. This welcoming environment made Clara feel significantly less alone in her ongoing linguistic struggles. Shared experiences and mutual support deeply fostered a strong sense of encouraging, understanding community amongst them. There were still occasional days, moments of my daily day's struggle, when persistent frustration and self-doubt subtly crept back into Clara's mind. The insidious thought, why you should not learn English, frequently surfaced, tempting her to abandon her efforts completely, a dark whisper of discouragement. She sometimes heard subtly discouraging remarks from others or felt frustratingly stagnant in her progress. "It's simply too hard," or "you're just not good enough," whispered insidious doubts. But now, she possessed robust strategies and unwavering resilience to effectively combat these negative thoughts, pushing them away. Clara consistently reminded herself of her remarkable progress, no matter how seemingly small or insignificant it might appear on any given day. She consciously celebrated even tiny victories, such as understanding a complex new sentence or eloquently articulating a challenging idea, boosting her morale significantly. The comprehensive way of learning English for Clara truly became a deeply personalized and highly adaptable journey, uniquely tailored to her. She recognized there was no single magic bullet or universal method, but rather a dynamic combination of techniques perfectly suited to her individual learning needs and style. She also discovered the paramount importance of learning new vocabulary within its natural context. Instead of memorizing isolated word lists, she diligently learned new words embedded within captivating stories, popular songs, and genuine, flowing conversations, making retention much easier and more meaningful. Understanding how people speak English naturally involved observing more than just spoken words. It encompassed gestures, subtle facial expressions, and body language. Clara realized that true communication was a holistic, multifaceted process, far richer than just linguistic components alone, enhancing her comprehension. She profoundly recognized that active and consistent listening was absolutely fundamental to her progress. The more she diligently listened, the better she became at understanding intricate nuances, diverse accents, and natural phrasing, all of which directly led to a significantly improved overall fluency. Speaking English regularly, even just to herself in front of a mirror, became an absolutely crucial, non-negotiable part of her daily routine. The consistent repetition of sounds and common phrases gradually built essential muscle memory, making her speech more automatic, more effortless, and incredibly fluid. Clara keenly focused on the powerful technique of chunking, learning common phrases and idiomatic expressions as single, indivisible units, rather than dissecting individual words. This innovative approach significantly improved her overall fluency, making her spoken English sound remarkably more natural and native-like. The best way to learn English, she ultimately realized, was indeed unwavering consistency and persistent effort. Daily, even remarkably short, bursts of focused practice yielded far superior and more profound results than sporadic, infrequent, but lengthy and intense study sessions, proving the power of habit. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, the incessant daily struggle diminished significantly. Her thoughts began to form directly and effortlessly in English, a beautifully seamless mental process now. The tedious, energy-draining translation step that once plagued her had almost entirely vanished, liberating her mind completely. She could now confidently engage in spontaneous, lively conversations, expressing her intricate thoughts and complex ideas with remarkable clarity and precision. The debilitating fear that once suffocated her every attempt had been gloriously replaced by a quiet, unwavering sense of deep personal confidence. Her listening skills sharpened remarkably, becoming incredibly acute and discerning. She could effortlessly follow complex discussions, genuinely appreciate subtle English humor, and accurately grasp nuanced meanings across a wide variety of challenging contexts, a true testament to her hard work. How to talk in English was no longer a daunting theoretical question Clara pondered but a vibrant, lived reality she embraced daily with enthusiasm. She spoke with a natural rhythm and an effortless flow that felt incredibly intuitive and beautifully authentic to her developing linguistic identity. The initial, dispiriting reasons for why you should not learn English now seemed incredibly distant, completely irrelevant, mere ghosts of past doubts. The immense benefits and profound rewards she reaped far outweighed any past perceived difficulty, any lingering uncertainty, or any fleeting moment of doubt. Her intensely personalized and adaptable way of learning English proved to be spectacularly successful, a powerful testament to her unwavering persistence, incredible resilience, and remarkable adaptability. She had courageously forged her own unique path to genuine fluency and linguistic mastery. She now found immense joy in simply observing how people speak English around her, effortlessly picking up new idiomatic expressions, nuanced slang, and profound cultural insights. The language had truly become a window into a richer, more expansive world for her, filled with endless discovery. Taking that terrifying yet exhilarating first step for talking had been the scariest decision of her journey, but it was undoubtedly the single most pivotal and transformative choice she made. It gloriously opened countless doors she never dared to imagine were even remotely possible for her. The best way to learn English was ultimately not a rigid, single method or a static, unchanging formula. Instead, it was a dynamic, endlessly evolving process of deep immersion, consistent practice, and fearless, bold experimentation, embracing mistakes as valuable learning opportunities every step of the way. She no longer asked the question, how to learn English. She was actively living it, embodying the entire transformative journey. Clara had truly become a confident, articulate, and incredibly self-assured English speaker, fluent and free, communicating effortlessly and joyfully every single day. Her remarkable success wasn't solely about innate linguistic talent or inherent genius, but rather about sheer, unwavering dedication and relentless consistency. She firmly believed anyone could achieve genuine fluency with the right positive mindset and persistent, consistent effort applied diligently every single day. Clara frequently shared her inspiring story, a beacon of hope, passionately inspiring countless others trapped in similar linguistic struggles and frustrations. Her transformative journey became a shining testament and a clear pathway for many aspiring language learners across the globe, encouraging them greatly. English magnificently opened up unprecedented new professional opportunities and profoundly expanded her entire worldview immeasurably. She traveled extensively, confidently connecting with incredibly diverse people from myriad cultural backgrounds, building bridges of understanding and connection worldwide. The language, once an insurmountable barrier, had now miraculously become a powerful, vibrant bridge to new experiences and deeper connections. Clara's voice, once hesitant and timid, now resonated powerfully with purpose, clarity, and unshakable confidence, a profound testament to her unwavering, resilient spirit. From a daunting, daily linguistic struggle to confident, effortless communication, her complete transformation was truly awe-inspiring. The challenging journey itself ultimately became her greatest teacher, empowering her in every conceivable way and enriching her life beyond measure, forever changing her perspective.